How are you? Uh, my name is Bevars. This is the crew up here. We got uh, Zach,
That's
Melanie,
not me.
hmm,
I'm down. I'm
Alex.
down to the right.
Huh? No, I'm pointing in the right directions. Zach, Melanie, and Alex.
Melanie, Alex, you.
I'm going by the Twitch standard here. All right, so
Uh,
and we are playing Power Outage today. Um, I probably should have checked to see if sound levels were good or not, but meh, we're
No one needed
professionals,
to hear
right?
my voice anyway.
Okay, so we're starting a new session. Let me ask, is everybody ready for today's session? Do you guys need any recaps or anything like that?
should our XP be 0 now, or is it like 50 or something?
I won't worry about XP right now. I'm going to assume.
I
Fantastic.
forgot she has one of those on. Did she get
Yep.
that off?
For the good of the order, why don't we go, since we've been a while away from Power Outage? Oh, look, hey, there's somebody in chat. Hello, Sildari. Why don't we go around and introduce our characters, and maybe we'll do a roll off to see where we last left off. So, Zach, do you want to start off?
Yeah, sorry. I had to open up Twitch and it was playing a Pokemon cartoon.
That's okay.
I got confused. So, outdated picture, but my character is Skara. She came from the desert with robot manacles that continue to cause her problems. She wants to get them off. She got one off last time. Now Jira's wearing it.
Cat. Okay. Melanie, you're up.
Jira is a giraffe that likes to beat people, well, beat robots, I suppose. And she has one manacle that she doesn't understand on one of her hands.
And I believe, as of the last session, you now have somewhat of a kind of a. I guess we never really discussed it in depth, so I'll let you guys decide how you guys want to handle things with that. But when we last left off, you guys had somewhat of a psychic connection between, linking the two of you, or at least a mechanical connection of sorts. And then finally, last but not least, Alex.
Hey, I am Post-it. He's a delivery boy from Optomnizad. I think I pronounced that right. It's been a while. And he's delivering messages for the good, I don't know, good organizations trying to bring down the bad ones. And he's been searching for his brother. Um, that's some of what he's got going on.
Very nice. All right. And I am your GM this week. My name is B-Bars. Let's see here. Let me make sure that OBS is still playing. It is. Good. So, we are playing Power Outage, a game where you play the role. It's a game designed for kids, and our group has already experienced one of the adventures, and I'd like for one of our group members to, well, I'd like all three of you guys to do a roll of d20 and see who gets the highest. Whoever gets the highest does a recap of the adventure.
I got a 5.
Out of fairness, I will roll too. In stream. Oh no, it's doing that thing.
I can't find my special. Oh, they're there.
How do I turn turn off? Hey, Zach, do you remember how to turn off that that virtual dice that appears on Roll20?
Oh, the actual like 3D.
Yeah.
It's in the options thing on the
Settings.
in the settings thing.
There we go. Enable 3D dice. There we
Yeah.
go. And then I'm gonna uncheck automatically roll 3D dice too, because. And then there we go. I think that'll work. Let's try. My first roll counts. I just want to test the roll. Roll 1d20. So I rolled an 11 the first time. Now I rolled a 12. Good. What's everybody's rolls?
5.
17.
18.
It looks like Melanie got it. So Melanie, you are up. Please recap our first adventure. Just be wary of Alex's beard taking over the screen.
Sorry.
So we got together and tracked down a lady bot named Mrs. Roboto, and fought a bunch of robots on the way, and eventually, oh god, I don't remember, found out she wanted to mess with the banks, right?
Yeah. She wanted to like erase all money, I think, essentially.
Right.
Yeah, she
And-
wanted to set us all free.
Before we could fight her, we had to fight each other a little bit. But eventually we took her down and stopped her from messing up the city's economy. Was it the city or the whole world? Yeah, it was just the city, right?
It was, yeah. I guess. Well, I mean, it's a pretty large financial district. I mean, like most of the bigger cities on Outage are kind of globally impacting. You know, Shorai City being like the hub of where all the newest technology comes from and is distributed around the world. It definitely would have taken the world economy would have probably taken a pretty big blow if a Amazon-like sized company like Roboto Corp got taken down. And I could tell from Zach's pensive face that was even more of a reason to have sided with the villainess. Sorry, Zach.
I don't know. We all have our own theories about what would have happened.
At the very least, you would have had to deny.
Yeah. Because Scar was pretty on board with Mrs. Robato's plan, and also Mrs. Roboto.
Well, that's according to Melody. She shipped.
we all have our own versions of the story.
Excellent. So, you guys did wrap up that adventure, and you guys did a fantastic job. You also gained the what was it? You guys gained a badge. I think it was a citizenship badge that gives you +2 to any impact rolls whenever you are trying to convince anybody in Shorai City of something, or use your impact, your general, your impact, your social impact score. I'll pick up from there, and well, let's see here. Why don't we get into a little bit of discussion about what you guys want to do, and you guys can have a discussion between the three of you as your characters themselves to kind of figure out what you want to do prior to going on any kind of next adventure or things like that. You guys are kind of in a situation where now Jira now has the other Manny attached to her, and she did that so she could escape a facility that was set to self-destruct. And you guys have saved the city and saved the finances, but things are a little bit shaky. Take it away. What what do you guys want to talk about, or do you guys want to settle anything before we move on?
Are we in the Bachow Diner?
You guys actually could be back at your base, and you guys could start describing what exactly is your base. So, where is your base of operations? Do you guys have a central
Our
base?
base would be in like the park or something, and maybe like just like a bus and a tree
It's
or
a
something like
treehouse,
that. Yeah.
but I don't have to get up into the treehouse.
No, there's just a hole in the floor.
Yeah, you just stand below it.
She
There's like a
pops
track
in
around
for.
the treehouse.
She pops up for tea or something.
Oh my gosh. And every time, just posted just a little bit.
Very nice. So you're
Yeah,
in
she's
your.
as tall as we are when we're standing inside.
So I'm assuming then you are back at your treehouse base. And do you guys have a name for your treehouse base?
I thought we did, but this was months ago at this point.
I think you guys have a team name, but I don't think you guys ever described a base.
The Adventures Hangout.
All right, good enough.
It does what it says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are there. You guys want to
So
discuss?
Scaras just looks out the window. I guess we're all having tea, right?
Sure.
And so Scara looks out of the window and she sips her tea and she's like, I wonder where Mrs. Roboto is now.
She says longingly.
Do you think she's married?
Married to her job, probably.
Oh, yeah.
That's not Pickle. Who's that?
This is Beans.
Beans.
Wait.
Beans.
He's got stuck in the wall, right?
Beans.
You did.
Fantastic. Okay. Do you guys want to discuss anything about your current predicament with the Manny, or is it settled? Are you guys okay with it, or you guys want to? Now, Manny is not. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Does Manny target anybody with powers, or just you specifically?
Yeah, I don't know. It's malfunctioning, so it might just think I'm the only one with powers.
Well, let's see.
Or maybe it's just for people.
So right now it's on Jira's hand. It's on Jira's hand, and it's somewhat functioning with, the same. Like it is attached. It's communicating. Right now, it only serves the purpose of communicating with Manny, the other Manny. It doesn't have any of its own functions on Jira. Do you want to leave this device on your hand? Do you want to do something else? What would you like to do about it?
We can still secretly talk with it, I guess, which is kind of cool.
So you're keeping it on? Or are you trying to take it off at all?
Well, it sounds like they're debating the pros and cons of it.
Yeah.
So, can I just take it off and put it on whenever I want?
Well, first off, do you want to try to take it off?
Yes.
All right. Let's do it this way. Roll a d20 plus impact, and I'm gonna say you have to beat a 13. Or actually, no. I'm going to say that you have to beat Manny's. What do we want to give Manny's Omer? Let's say Manny has a 4 Omer. So you're going to have to beat Manny's Omer plus its Dex roll. Sorry, it's a D20 roll.
So D20 plus my Omer?
So you're rolling your impact to try to take this thing off, and I'm rolling Manny's Omer resistance to that.
I got 16.
All right, you give it a yank, and there's a little bit of plaintive, squelching and robotic annoyance, but it does come off your hand.
Made it look so easy.
Sweet.
Gar, what have you been doing all these years with it on?
I don't know.
think you
I guess
actually
I didn't
like
have a nice DM or nice GM. Help me get it off.
It's got its own reasoning and stuff. Maybe it itself does not prefer to be split. I don't know. We don't know what the reasons are, but it does
so
come
it's
off.
like two magnets just trying to get back to each other. Potentially, theoretically. We don't know yet for sure, but that's what you meant as
We
a
don't know yet,
possibility.
but we do know that it does seem more optional for everybody but Skara.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So wait, now that we just have like this, I forget what the device is called, Manny. Now that we just have like a rogue Manny lying around, like how's it behaving? Is it able to move on its own, like Evil Dead hands?
And it flops around like a fish, probably.
This is just one more reason why Post-it is vaguely uncomfortable every time he's at the hangout.
I get my shark extendo grabber and I pick it up and then I lock it in my foot locker.
So you guys are leaving Manny 2 back at base.
Yeah, I don't want to wear it. I just got my hand back.
That's fine. What hand is currently trapped by Manny?
I think it's the left.
So your right hand is free. Your left hand. Well, that works out.
My right hand is free, and I just washed it, and it does not smelly anymore. But it's very, very white.
All right. So all of a sudden, as you guys are discussing this, you get a phone call. Little red. It looks like a regular phone, like old school phone, but it's got like red marker drawn all over it so that it looks like a red Batman-esque phone, and it starts ringing and it just keeps on ringing. Does anybody want to do that?
Well, I can't answer it. My arm is
Yeah, I think
I pick it up and put it up to Jira's ear.
has Post-it been has Post-it been forwarding his delivery service calls to the hideout?
Well,
I don't think he would do that. But if he had, he would totally answer the phone then because he wants another job.
Okay. Well, on the other end, it's kind of like staticky, and you could tell that you hear some kind of old modemish sounds, and you hear Russian speech occurring on the other end. You can't tell what it is, but it sounds like an operator. And I guess Alex, I guess your character would. I guess Post-it would speak Russian.
I would assume he does. I do not.
Right, but since I don't either, you pick up that it is an operator asking you to please hold while the call is put through, and
Okay.
And then you hear another voice on the line, and it's a voice that the three of you recognize because you've actually worked with him in the past, and it is a Professor Mendeleev. And when I say in the past, I mean prior to our actual documentation of your adventures. I'm sure there have been plenty of adventures that have occurred prior to now. And it's Professor Mendeleev. And he goes, hello. Is this Post-it?
Say it, Professor. It is. It's so good to hear from you again.
Yes. It is good. It is good to hear from you. Listen, I need you to make your way over to Atomni Zavad. There's a place I'd like to meet you. I have a very important discussion, very important discovery that I need to discuss with you. I can't talk about it over the phone. There are ears everywhere. So can you make it? Can you come?
I say this discovery is not going to try to bite us on the ankles again, is it?
No, 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 nothing like that. Nothing like the last time. Trust me, trust me.
All right, all
Last
right.
3 times. Wait, is that microphone?
Yeah, they've been progressively smaller things that bite our ankles. Um, I've been trying to craft this teacup monstrosity. But
Um,
yeah, I think we can go. We'll discuss it with everybody, but I don't see any reason why we couldn't.
okay, I will send you a car. I will send you transportation ticket from Shorai City to the Gorbachev to Tamni Zavad. Meet me at the Gorbachev diner. Uh,
Oh, Gorbachev.
I think it's called Grubachow.
and yes, come see me there later on today. We'll have lunch.
Sounds good.
And he hangs up the phone. So you guys want? So do you want to discuss with your friends there?
Well, I think Professor Mendeleev made the choice for us by sending the vehicle already. But hey, we're going to Tomny to Survive, my hometown. That's great. Isn't that great, everybody? I'm so happy to be going back, I think.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So an old transportation unit arrives. It you the vehicles as they travel from Shorai City to the Tanya Zavad, you see the differences, the disparity in the technology. You know, whereas whereas the Tanya Zavad's vehicles are streamlined and futuristic and ready to fly off the ground. The Atomnia Zavad's vehicles are a little bit more borscht-esque, so to speak. It's very old and it's like it looks like something
Fallout 3.
yeah, I'd say that's great. That's a
Like
great
nuclear powered and dingy.
Exactly.
With like some glowing green stuff coming off of it.
Yeah, actually, you see the glowing green accents, kind of like emanating from each of from the radiator and everything like that in the front of the car. Like anywhere that you see like a crack in the, or not a crack, but a seam in the engine, you see a glowing green light. And while that might be a bit alarming to the two of you, it's like home for Alex.
Yeah.
Close
I
it.
take a big deep breath right by this green trail from the car. Tommy
Use,
Zavad machines.
I use my support J2 ability to protect him from damage.
Excellent. All right, so
I
guys,
say, this is why most of us here just ride bicycles. That's why I'm so good at it. But nothing smells quite like home.
so a driver gets out. He offers to attach your bicycle to the back of the vehicle. There's like these like metallic chains that he's wrapping around them, and then he starts. You guys start to drive. You drive over. It takes a little while. It takes a few hours drive, but you arrive at the Gorbachev diner close to about noonish. But of course, as you enter into the city proper, you notice a stark difference because you're driving and it's daylight, and then as soon as you hit a certain point, you immediately drive into darkness. It's almost like there's a bubble that surrounds the city, and immediately you are encased in night. When you look back through the rear view mirror, everything looks like it's night, and forward, of course, everything is now nighttime, and you see the greenish glow of the city in front of you. anything you want to, what do you guys see as you're driving into the city towards the Gorbachev Diner? Why don't you guys describe some things that you notice?
Well, so at this point, my history with this town as a delivery person trying to bring down some of these corrupt uh, or violent gangs, the criminal underbelly.
Right.
I start keeping an eye out for anyone who maybe notices me or people who seem to be aligned with the factions that I've gone against. Do I see anything like that?
You roll a d20 plus your power.
Okay, that will be 17.
17. Okay. For the most part, everything seems like it's. I mean, it just looks, from what you can tell, everybody is going about their standard labor. Now, because you rolled so high, we'll just tap into your heroic knowledge and your knowledge of the city in and of itself. You know that the Atamnia Zavad is, in all essence, a city, but it is actually also a single company, referred to as the factory. And everybody that is a citizen of the Atamnia Zavad is an employee of the factory in one shape or another. The only people that kind of skirt them, and they're still on the payroll to some extent, are the the thugs, the mobsters, and things like that.
Okay.
So as you're driving through, you see some of these people going about their day to day. Some people wear hazmat suits and are walking around in their full regalia. Other people may have, like a slight glow about them, or
So, real quick, just for clarity, is Autonomy Nistavad the name of the company?
no, the name of the company. That's a good question that I should be able to answer.
Because really, all I was gonna say is that everyone that we see is branded with just merchandise. Everyone's got like sweatshirts that say like whatever the company is.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. It's kind of like a collective, so everybody's got that kind of.
Yeah.
And what is the Atanya Zavad symbol?
I think it's a glow in the dark chameleon.
A glow in the dark what?
'Cause it's a chameleon. It's one company that can do everything, in the way that a chameleon can be anything. Well, not be anything, but look a lot like most things.
Very nice. Okay. So yeah, sure enough, the driver pulls up to the Gorbachev Diner, and unfastens your bicycle, allows you all to exit, and he drives away. Again, as an employee of the Tamya Zavad, he doesn't really, he's on the payroll, so he's just doing his part of the job. Let's see here. Yeah, it's the Atamnia Zavad is the name of the company and the name of the city itself. So it's all one big mega corporation city. Kind of everybody works for the Atamnia Zavad. The Atamnia Zavad works for everybody.
Okay.
Okay. And you three stand there outside of the Gorbachev Diner. What do you want to do?
Okay.
Does anyone remember what terms we left Professor Mendeleev on? It's been a while, so I have a little bit of a foggy memory, but are we all good? Are we good with him?
Oh, we're good with everybody.
Okay.
All right. So what would you guys like to do?
I guess we'll just swing on in and get ourselves some grub at the Grubachev.
What time of day is it?
It is noon, but it appears as if it is dark night. No, no starlight can be seen. No moon, no anything like that. So it's just pitch black. But of course, the outside area is lit with the glow of the atomic batteries that are used to charge just about everything in the Atomnia Zavat. Do you go in?
Yeah.
I think so.
All right. As you enter, let me zoom in here so I can read it. So you enter, and a waitress meets you. She seems kind of exhausted, like she's got that ever exhausted feel to her. Kind of just another day on the job, not looking forward to things. She asks you guys whether you want a table or a Stalin.
Stalin.
Very good. And then she kind of grabs a couple menus and starts walking to you and walking you over, and then all of a sudden, you see a wiry little man just like waving at you, like hey, over here, come, come. And you recognize him as Professor Mendeleev.
Professor, it's so good to see you. And then like, I looked at the waiter and said, I guess we don't need a Stalin because we have this little feisty professor man. We'll sit with him.
Yeah, but he's actually sitting at a stall already, so you guys are good to go.
Oh, so
Um,
we do need a Stalin, just not a new.
So
You
I'm
get
going
the
to.
deal.
So this drawing is slightly inaccurate from the new version. So you guys should now be able to see where you're at, right, on Roll20. So you make your way. Everything in well, actually, Zach, why don't you describe the diner that you're in?
So it's like a Cold War era terrazzo floors. Probably some kind of, like mint green upholstery, yellow plastic chairs, lots of like communist Russia regalia type stuff on the walls. It's like
It's very
somebody
Soviet.
in Russia heard about Applebee's and tried to make one, but within the framework of what they expect. So
Fantastic. All right, so let me try to drag a character over here. This work? And I won't get from the wrong spot. I probably am. All right, so I accidentally deleted a bunch of characters from the game. So let's see here. I got all the villains here. I could use a villain as a. Oh, well, can I draw? So I'm going to say because I. Oh, wait, I could do. How do I add a person here? Let's say Professor. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's a premium asset. We don't want that. Let's say scientist. Oh, this looks good. So, imagine, if you will, Professor Mendeleev sitting right here. Let me see if I could redraw some of how this actually looks. Draw shape. And there is seating. Goes from here. And seating that goes here. And seating that goes here. Oops, I drew an extra one that I didn't need to. Alright, and he's sitting right here at the end. And I guess I need to copy your characters over, or are you able to do that? Let's see. My library. Melanie. Zach. Oops. Dumped you in the same spot. And Alex.
Cool.
You guys have control over those characters? You should. I think you should. Do you have the ability to position them?
I don't think I do.
I can't see anything.
They're on the right of the map.
Yeah, I can't move it.
Alright, sorry about that, guys.
So good.
Oh, there we go. Controlled by Zach. Save changes. Controlled. Forgot about double clicking. Controlled by Melanie. Controlled by Alex. Okay. I believe now you should be able to move them.
Yeah.
So he invites you to sit down with him. Great. And he, he got the diner. What do you guys order?
Salad.
I order the traditional Autumn Savad meal of glowing green borscht.
The borscht. You notice that when you order the borscht, Professor Mendeleev has a somewhat not disgusted, but he's got a look about him that looks uneasy.
I say, what's wrong, Professor? Has been in the research academia, made you soft?
Oh, it's a long story, but suffice it to say, let's just say I've had my fill of borscht. And Zach, what did you order?
Trying to think of any Russian food that I know about. Nope. Steak and potatoes.
Nice. Okay, traditionalist. And okay, so you await for your food, and Professor Mendeleev says, "Welcome, welcome here. I have big important news that I must discuss with you. I have discovered, and now let me, prior to getting into this, let me just say that Power Outage is filled to the brim with nonsense science that doesn't make a lick of sense. Be aware of that. It's Superman, going like this to fly faster. Okay, there's no real rhyme or reason to it. So don't expect much from it. But in any case, Professor Mendeleev says, I have discovered a new element that I have called Aether. And it has atomic weight that is actually lower than hydrogen. It has been very difficult for me to discover this, but I have finally found a method for actually not only discovering it, but actually condensing the aether into something that is accessible in our realm. Um, in fact, the device I have created is called an ether condenser. And it condenses ether into 3 different states, and depending on the state that it condenses, the ether does different things, whether it be a gas, a liquid, or a solid.
Pretty impressive, man.
Uh,
Where's my food?
and then he looks around for the waitress. The waitress is over there. She's chatting up. She's chatting up the cashier. She doesn't seem to be in any hurry to get your food to you. Anything you want to ask?
I just sink down in my seat.
Is there anything you want to ask the professor before he continues, or?
Has he told anyone else about this?
No. I've kept it very, very hush hush. There's only a few people that know. At the lab, of course, that I work at, there's the people that I work with, and other than that, there's not much. No one else. Not really anyone else that knows anything about this. Of course, I do have my suspicions. Actually, that is the reason I've called you. I have been approached by some unscrupulous characters, and they had a lot of questions about my research. And then, as he's saying this, now the food comes, and it is the most sad plate of burnt steak and potatoes that you've seen, and the salad that you get is there's parts that are wilted, and there's other parts that look like they have grown a new tangent from what you'd normally expect lettuce to be. You know, there's thorn-like substances in there. You're not exactly sure what you're looking at, but it is what can be expected when you have a gardening vegetables and such provided by nuclear powered lighting.
And then when I get my glowing green borscht, I'm a little upset because it's not glowing quite as bright as my mother's borscht used to. It's not quite like home.
Excellent.
It's a little dim.
Equivalent to a Yelp review.
Yeah. 3 stars.
Above average. I'll take
Above
it.
average. Service was fine.
Nice. So Mendeleev is kind of excited, and he keeps on going. He says, "This is very important, critical experiment, because as a gas, the ether has the power to apply anti-gravitational characteristics to objects. As a liquid, it functions as a fuel that can increase the speed of both mechanical constructs and biological beings. And as a solid, it has a supercapacity to store and transmit tremendous amounts of power. Enough energy, in fact, to eliminate the use of atomic batteries that the citizens of Atomni Zavad have become quite dependent on. It could completely change the landscape of the Atomni Zavad."
Why aren't they just using solar?
There's no sun.
Well, as you know,
I point out the window and look up.
as you
Why
notice,
isn't there a sun?
as you notice,
What happened here?
like Professor Mendeleev was like looks at you like he was like it is night here. it's been night in the Autumni Zavad for the past 40 years now. We
Why?
Nobody knows. I mean, the Russians, the Japanese, the Americans, they've worked together to build the space. That is what actually brought us together as countries forming a space program. That's why the space elevator now sits in Seward's refuge. We have tried everything that we can to discover why it's 19 Omnizavad, but no one knows.
But you could just put solar powers outside.
We could do that, but we provide atomic energy to the entire world. It's a major, it is what the factory produces. It is the reason that we inhabit the mineral rich environment in the cliff sides of the Autumnia Zavad are what the unique minerals that we've discovered here are what has progressed our civilization. It has promoted the mother country into the superpower that it is.
Post-it sort of like waves his hand, steps in, and is like, I don't know if you know, but diversifying your portfolio is really important. And you trust in the company. You trust in the company.
Are you telling me that?
Yes.
Oh, I don't understand what you're saying.
I put my arm around Scar and I just say, you just trust in the company. You trust in Autumni Zavad.
Yes,
No.
yes, this is a good child of the Autumnia Zavad, right here.
Kind of out of character, but I want to ask him if there's any potential drawbacks to this miracle that he's suddenly discovered.
Well, drawbacks.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, I'm gonna retcon a little bit. I've realized now why Post-it was willing or unwilling to erase all of the company data in our last mission. It's because he's been ingrained with the Autumni Zavad love. He loves Autumni Zavad, having grown up here and done so much work for them.
Very nice.
So, sorry, I'll let you continue.
No, that's great. And it adds a depth of character to a Post-it that I love. He goes, drawbacks? Well, of course, with something that has such immense potential, there is, of course, the possibility that it could fall in the wrong hands. And then just as he says that, the glass window bursts in, and people freak out and scatter and run in all sorts of locations, in all directions, hiding under tables. And out of the darkness, the glow of two slits appears, and up to the and it seems like something. The glow is almost floating towards you, and as he reaches the entrance to the entrance that he's created, he goes, Dr. Mendeleev, I presume. And with that action, with that voice, he does two things before anyone can react. With his left hand, he fires what looks like a carafe of syrup at Dr. Mendeleev, and a syrupy, maple-smelling net entraps him and pulls him toward him. And with his right hand, he fires at 3 plates of four plates of breakfast sitting on the let's say right there, if you can see that where I'm pinging. and the plates start to rattle. And he steps back and starts and hops down a little bit into what looks like a flying pan that kind of pulls back and starts to turn around, like the handle faces you and starts to peel away. While that's happening, while he starts to pull back, the plates of breakfast, 3 of the 4 plates of breakfast, fall onto the table, onto the floor, and out from behind the right over here are 3 different monsters, as it were. What looks like a giant crepe, a French terror, and a waffle.
What was the middle thing?
A French terror. French
I
toast.
like French toast.
Yeah.
They sound delicious.
Let's see if I could pull up. Here, I could probably upload. I didn't. Sorry, I didn't add any assets for this. So let me.
I jump up on the table and say, "Let's make this lunch a brunch."
Lovely. All right, so I'm just gonna grab any.
I don't even know what that means.
I'm gonna eat the waffle.
Okay.
I will eat the waffle.
So I'm going to have to upload something here real quick. Let's see here.
Oh, you mean there's no waffle monster in the free library?
Surprisingly not.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, just go to like Denny's and find some stock photos there, and just delicious syrupy pancakes and waffles and toast.
And then draw googly eyes on them.
Yep.
Bear with me. All right, that looks good. Save link as waffle. Nope, that's the link. Save image as waffle grape logo. That looks good. Grab that one. Just grab anything right here. Sorry, guys.
It's all good.
Save images. And this one's adorable, so yeah, that's the one that's gonna go up there. Okay, I am super prepared for the thing. Add character drop. Let's see here. Medium. Save changes. That's one. Upload. There we go. Choose file. Test. What to do? Oh, it only allows you to upload one at a time. All right.
I think you can shift click them, and it'll just put them all.
I tried that, but then it just unselected.
Oh, weird. It's been a while since I've tried it.
Upload, choose, create. Upload, choose, waffle. All right, here we go. First the crepe. And the waffle. Wow, this map does not match up with the grid. And what was the last one? Great. Okay. So, 3 monsters appear, and you notice the plate of pancakes that is sitting on the table wobbles a little bit, and then it kind of stutters to a stop. How do you respond?
I jump up on the table and I shout, "I love breakfast for dinner."
Excellent. So do you guys engage in the monster?
Yep.
All right. So you guys are
Here I
fighting.
go. I run over to the. Where's my mouse? I run over to the French toast, and I use.
Now here, I just want to give you guys the heads up. Anywhere that there is a bench or a table requires 2 travel spaces to move through. Do you remember what your travel is?
Yeah, it's 8. So
Okay.
it's here. So I go 1, 2, I guess.
Mhm.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay,
6,
I want you to stop there
8.
before you get all the way to them.
Uh-huh.
I'd like you to roll a d20 plus your power to perceive things around the diner, and let me know what you get.
19.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so as you're making your way towards these monsters and you're gung ho to get started, your senses kick in and you're able to see a lot of things that, while you may not immediately understand how they can be of benefit to you, you do see things that are of interest to you as you pass. First, you see the window to the kitchen, and of course, the kitchen has its whole host of possibilities. Um, what you see, let's draw this out a little bit. Bless you. What you see over here is the fire suppression system. And then right next to it is a huge dispenser machine of maple syrup. And then finally, with a mild yellowish glow, a greenish glow, you see 3 huge pads of butter. There, and there. And proceed as you were.
Okay, I run up to the French toast and I throw them into the syrup machine.
Okay, so you're going to try to throw the French toast over the counter and into the syrup machine.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see here. Let me pull up. I'll say that. Do you have a power that can move these guys, or?
The power of my muscles.
Okay, so you're going to use an impact roll. So you're going to do a d20 plus your impact, and you're going to try to pick it up. And this thing is not going to be altogether interested in you picking him up, so there's going to be a little bit of difficulty in doing that. So why don't you roll a d20 plus your impact, and I will
Okay.
roll d20 plus their Omer.
I got a 12. Unless I can't add my level 3 if I added everything to impact at level 1. I can't add my other point to impact, right?
At level 3, what? Say that again?
Do you still have the rule in place where you can't just add everything to one?
That
One
only
stat?
happens after level 3. Level 3, you can't, like, the rule is that after level 3, you can't add to the last attribute that you added to, basically.
Okay. So I could add all 3 of my starter points to one thing?
Yes.
Okay, then I got a 13.
And actually, you have 4 points now because you're at level 3, right? So you start off with 2 points in each. Then you had 3 points. Or wait, you get 2 points or 3 points at the beginning. I think you got
3 points at the beginning.
Let me just make sure that that is accurate.
Well, that's what we started with. I'm not sure what it is now, per
Yeah,
se.
I know. I'm
But
just sorry.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. I think we changed that when you updated the rules.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, it's all fine. Because I think we changed that, but we kept all of our powers. Is what I remember.
So yeah, so it's 2, 2, and 2. You add 3 attribute points in any way that you want, and then at level 3 you've got 1 more attribute point. So you have a total of 4 attribute points that you've been able to kind of spread out however you see fit.
okay, I got a 13.
Okay, and I am going to roll. Let me just pull up the villains that you're fighting here. Their stats. Almost there. There we go. Uh, 3. No, 0. Oh, okay. Okay, you succeed. So you grab this French terror, and you are able to, through the sheer grit, throw it over. Whoops, I added an extra line in there. I didn't need to. Throw him over the counter, and behind your back, you kind of almost like suplex him, and it lands there with a bit of a squish, but not taking that much damage. In fact, I'll say it took 1 point of damage from that action. And it is, I'll say this much, it is also prone. So it will require its full movement in order to get back up. Just to get back up. So let me just add that. Okay. And that is your action. Do you have any more movement? Anything else that you want to do?
Nope. Well, I got plenty I want to do, but I don't think I'm allowed to right now.
Okay. Alex and Melanie.
Well, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to run forward just a little bit. Maybe to about there. And then I'm going to use my special delivery and throw super sharp letters at the crepe and the waffle.
Okay.
From a distance.
You can hit both of them with that?
I can hit both of them.
Nice.
Well, theoretically.
Mhm.
And that's rolling power, right?
Yes. So you roll 1d20 plus your power versus my 1d20.
Oh. Dang it. That'll be a 9.
Okay. So describe that miss for me.
Okay. So I took sort of like a handful of letters, and threw them like a deck of cards. Basically, they got spin through the air. But it sounds like they all whizzed over each of the items over there. So they kind of land somewhere back in this corner, and are just like sticking out of the wall, kind of vibrating until they stop.
Now, I want to say, from a heroic standpoint, that was awesome. From a delivery man standpoint, that was terrible practice. You don't throw people's
Well,
mail.
You got to do what you got to do, right?
They're all dead letters. It's fine.
Nice. Melanie.
They're
Kira.
actually my love letters that I'm writing to
Two.
someone.
For breakfast.
Oh, someone will have to run over there and find them.
Yeah, I guess I'll just go pick one up and read it.
Every single time he uses his power, he endangers his like emotional state. It's like it's for true love.
Just going full Brando.
Jira, you are up.
Um, okay. So, can I try necking? Actually, no.
Every time you say that, quickly.
Can I just, I'm standing next to the butter.
Yes.
Can I, like, throw the butter onto the floor underneath the monsters?
Yeah. Which one?
I'm aiming for the crepe and the waffle, maybe?
Okay, you'll be able to hit one of them. Roll a d20 plus your impact.
I got a 13.
Okay, so you. Why don't you describe what you do, and then I'll describe what happens. So how do you throw it about? Like, do you like slide it over? Do you chuck it? How does that work?
I just grab it with both fists and then just throw it.
Okay. So as you throw this pan of butter over, the waffle takes a step forward just as it lands and slides right underneath its foot, and it collapses and falls over onto its, I guess, flat. So it is now prone as well.
Sweet. I'm good.
All right. So that is the end of your turn, and now it is the turn of the breakfast monsters, and they're like, wow, like they're just like, you hear this syrupy kind of like just grumbling as they move about slowly. They're kind of like. So
I
this
like
one gets-
that they've only had like 30 seconds of life and they're already jaded. Just,
They are they're complex carbs. Okay, so. All right, so this guy gets up, and that is all. Oh, wait, yes, it can do one thing. No, it can't because it's not close enough. This one gets up, and it cannot do anything either. But the giant crepe is near enough to Skara that it will attack with a power, and it is going to do this power. Let's say, let me try it out first. So Skara, roll d20 plus your Omer.
16.
All right, and it just hits. So the crepe, as it moves forward, kind of like out of its porous like fluffiness, excretes this syruption, basically, in in your direction, and it hits you and does 3 points of damage. And it is kind of like a hot syrup, so you will take an ongoing 1 point of YP loss per round until you are encouraged, or until you encourage yourself.
Okay.
And that is it for them, because that's all they could do.
Okay. I want to go here, jump over the counter, through the butter.
Okay, wait. Roll a 1d20 plus impact.
And I want to kick land into the French toast with it.
But before you do that, you got to roll a 1d20 plus impact.
13.
Okay, you succeed in getting on there, and then now roll another impact to see if you could do that attack.
I got a 17.
And you succeed. Okay, so you kick the butter into what, the face of the French Terror there?
Yeah, basically just get a running start, jump on the counter feet first, kick the butter, and then drop kick right into the French toast and land on him, I guess.
Okay, so I'm going to say that you're using the butter as you're kicking, so you're going to do a kick directly against the French Terror. You succeed, so roll either a D4, 1d4, or take the 2 points.
I take the D4 because of statistics.
Yep.
Oh, hang on. I dropped it. 3.
All right. And it is once again prone.
And buttered.
Yes.
All right.
What else happens?
I'm gonna run over here to this waffle, and I'm going to, unless, yeah, I don't think Melanie can get there anyway. I'm going to use scuffed shoes on the waffle, so I'm basically gonna like slam my bike against its whatever region of the waffle is touching the ground.
Okay.
And I have the second level of that.
Okay.
So let's see if it hits. That's 13.
13. Oh, you rolled? Okay, sorry. You hit.
Yes. Awesome. So now it does 2d4 damage.
Okay.
It's 2. And 6 total. And then he gets pushed back 3 spaces and suffers whatever hazards are there, if I wrote it down correctly.
So which area does it? How do you push it up?
I'm pushing him out through the window.
Through the window. Nice.
That's my goal. I realize he's soft and spongy, so he might just splat, but...
Okay. I'm going to say that you kick it back through the window. It cracks and smashes into the window and takes 1 more point of damage.
Cool.
But it is still standing.
Okay.
And that is what happens to it. Melanie.
Mhm. What is the French toast doing?
It is being delicious, covered in butter, and smelling mildly of syrup.
But it's not prone, right?
It is not prone. No, yeah, it is prone, right? Yeah, it is prone.
Yeah. What happened to Skara? I don't see her on the map at the moment.
I'm under the French toast.
occupying the
Oh,
same
under
space.
the French toast. Okay.
You can occupy the same space in this game. It's more of a like the map is more of a just like a general understanding of where you're at. It's not
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's
That's
not like
cool.
super strict like D&D 4E was about positioning and stuff.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna move next to the French toast. What's in the red? I know one of them's syrup. What's the other one?
The fire suppression system for the diner. And now I'll tell you this: why don't you roll a d20 plus your perception or your power?
I got a 20.
Ooh. Okay. Not only do you notice that the fire suppression system is easy to turn on for you because of your highly advanced technical skills, which we have established already in the prior adventures. Is Zach frozen or is he just still? Okay, he's just. You guys are both. You guys are both perfectly like still. So I was oh, the left half of the camera is frozen. Okay, now you're just messing with me. You guys have to always be doing this. The whole camera.
I
Not
gotta
only
figure
is
out how to teleport just so it looks even more like I have a bad connection.
So now, not only does not only is it easy to turn on, but you notice that there is an input into the fire suppression system that somewhat seems to match the nozzle for the syrup machine that is sitting right next to it. And I leave you with that information.
There's a what next to the nozzle?
So the fire suppression system has an intake valve or location, and the syrup machine has a nozzle to dispense syrup that is perfectly matched to that.
Can I stick the nozzle in the suppression system?
Yes, you can.
I'm gonna do that.
And then,
And then turn the suppression system on.
fantastic. Okay, you do that, and the sprinkler system comes on, and everything is covered in like liquidy syrup. And you hear the cries of other patrons that are kind of just like ducking behind tables and stuff like that and making their escape. Some of the patrons have left out of this door, but some of them are still kind of like stuck under there, under their diner tables. But what you notice of the monsters is that they are soggy. They have become soggier, and like they're kind of slumped down more. And it will be. You could tell that it will be harder for them to hit you from here on out, and they will probably be moving a bit slower. Is that the end of everybody? Everybody's
So
moved?
they're dogged up and they'll stay that way? The suppression system's still going, or
Yeah, it's still going.
oh, does it need to keep going for them to stay soggy?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, cool.
But it is still pouring. She turned it on. Okay, so now it's end of your turn, unless you guys are moving or doing any kind of travel or any kind of other actions, looking around, doing anything.
Nope, I'm not doing anything else right now.
Okay, so I'm gonna put this guy over here.
Do I notice if any patrons are just really enjoying this maple syrup rain?
No, none of them are.
Okay.
The plate of pancakes seems to be fully at rest and now more covered. Everybody else seems kind of like annoyed, but at the same time, the scene of several large breakfast monsters roaming about the diner and the smashed windows and everything like that is kind of more pressing to them.
Okay.
Why does a Russian diner, I mean, not just like a Russian diner, but a very Russian diner have crepes?
They're international. I mean,
They're made out of potatoes.
Potato crepes. And there's a potato waffle and a potato French toast.
Yep.
Potato bread
Excellent.
French toast.
Every sauce is vodka.
Dipped in potato batter.
Everybody gets a little bit woozier as the water comes down.
It's all
As the-
delicious. I would
Plutonium.
eat it for sure.
Nice.
Are you even old enough to eat it?
Nobody
Eh.
asks.
Comes with. They serve it with breakfast.
If you can get your shekel on the counter, you can have vodka.
That's wrong for a lot of reasons.
Yeah,
Alright.
maybe I said shekel.
All right. So if nobody's going, then it's the monsters. Okay. So now this one is going to get up. It is no longer prone. Let me get rid of that. It is no longer prone. This is no longer prone. Oddly enough, none of them have that P there anymore. Okay, so it's going to do an attack. It's going to pull off its last eruption, and now the two of you are there. Oh, by the way, start of your turn, take a point, Zach,
Okay.
against YP.
Thought you couldn't act if you were prone and you got up. Like your whole action was just to get up.
My whole travel action is to get up.
Okay.
I could still act.
Gotcha.
So it's going to hit Surruption, and it's going to hit the two of you, since you are both near.
Maybe.
Yeah, previously
gonna try to.
he hadn't done an action because there was nothing to do. None of us were close enough to do anything, so he just had been passing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So roll. So Melanie and Zach, please roll your D20 plus your Omer.
16.
3.
Sorry, 1 second. Okay. So what was that?
I got a 3. I rolled a 1.
Okay. And Melanie?
I got a 16.
Okay. So I instituted this new thing called Excellent Adventures and Bogus Journeys. So since you rolled a 1, Zach, nothing like bad necessarily happens, but something uncool happens, but it doesn't necessarily mean like, it's like the end of the world. Like you're not like taking more damage or insta die or something like anything like that.
What is today?
I'm sorry.
Nothing. The moment has passed.
Oh, sorry. Having rolled that 1, you avoid. Oh, no, you unfortunately do not avoid the Surruption as it splatters on you. It does another 3 points of damage. It doesn't do anything like you still continue you don't add on the extra 1 point of damage, so you're just taking that initial 1 point of damage ongoing. But as you back away from this, as you try to maneuver away from the Surruption, you actually slip on some of the syrup and water that is falling down itself, and you go prone. Jira, it somehow misses you. What did you roll again?
16.
Yeah, so it with the grace of Giraffe being doused in water and syrup, you are able to avoid this eruption. Next is these two. They will both attack at Post-it. And they will both try to use their Surruption power at the same time. So first, the creep will attack.
Cool. Do I roll twice for my Omer?
I'm going to say yes from each one.
Okay.
So
I
from the
couldn't
first
remember.
one,
That's an 11.
so you succeed.
Okay.
And then the second one.
That's a 13.
Okay, so both of these things are like sprinklers. They're like flying syrup all over the place. But
Okay.
I guess enough of the you're standing like right next to a sprinkler, so it's cooling things off. You're not really getting splattered by this like stuff. It's kind of like washing past you. So they're like doing their thing, but it's you're able to actually maneuver around both of it. And,
Okay.
and and with that, a cry is heard from one of the tables as a lady, as that same waitress actually that seated you is 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 going to try to make a break for the door. And as she does, the waffle starts moving towards her. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the waffle is now right on top, like right next to her.
Okay.
And now it is your turn.
All right. Well, I'm definitely gonna go over to this waffle and try to punt it again with my scuff shoes ability.
All right. So
That's a 17.
You unfortunately miss.
Dang.
Also, just as an exhaustion check,
Mhm.
it is 11:46, and I know that's pretty late for everybody. So, do you want to continue this round of combat in the future, or do you want to stick it out, or what do you guys, show of hands, what do you guys want to do?
I think I have maybe like 15 more minutes in me. I don't know how everyone else is.
We can finish this round. I'm pretty tired.
Finish this
Yeah.
round of combat, or just
Yeah,
this round?
just take our actions and then stop.
Okay. So,
Okay.
Alex took his action, and now it is Skara and Jira's turn to take theirs.
Okay, so I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna take an impactful bite of this French toast.
Nice. Go for it.
15.
You try to take a bite out of crime, and it does not succeed, unfortunately. Too slippery.
Over. So hungry.
Jira?
I'm gonna turn off the suppressor.
Okay.
Does that count as my action?
No, I'll say that that's like a free action.
Okay.
Because it doesn't really have any impact on things, and you've already turned it on once, so you're familiar with it, and you've done all the whole suppression thing, so. You just,
Right. Okay. So I'm going to try necking the French toast.
can't not giggle every time. Alright, go for it.
I got an 11. Wait, yeah, I have to roll to hit it, right?
Yes, you have to first roll to hit it.
An 11.
Okay, you unfortunately try to neck this thing, and swinging wildly, you knock a couple of pans of butter off, but you miss the French Terror. And we'll call that it for. I'll do this. I'll put in like here. Or let's just. I'll just write in here as monster's turn. So that way we have that for the next time. And we'll call it quits today. Real quick, what are you guys thinking of the new adventure so far?
I love breakfast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so much breakfast.
Fantastic. Okay, great. That's good to hear. Because this is actually going to be the adventure that is going to be generated for people for the second adventure that comes with the stretch goal. So
Awesome.
the culmination of this adventure will be the adventure that you read about in that adventure to come.
So don't steal it, everyone. Just buy the book.
You're welcome to steal it. I mean, okay.
That's not how this works, Beefers.
I am not a good businessman,
This is your intellectual property, damn it.
I guess. Okay, so go to the order. Does anybody have anything that they want to discuss or shout out or anything like that before we bid everyone adieu?
Yeah, shout out to Melanie's treehouse drawing. It's beautiful.
Wait, I didn't see it.
Mhm. That's in the messenger chat.
I thought it was too small.
You-
to show. There you go.
That's so cute.
I like it a lot. This treehouse is actually like my favorite place so far, and we're already gone, which is fine. We'll be back.
Yeah.
You'll be back to it. Yes.
Mhm.
Very nice. Very nice. That is adorable. Okay.
Meanwhile, at the Tree of Justice.
Well, you had your opportunity to name it that.
Well, we could rename it.
Yes, you can.
It does
That's
flow
fine,
off the
that's
tongue a
fine.
little bit better than the adventures and something.
The Adventures Hangout.
Hangout. Yeah.
We can have one of those wooden signs where we've like obviously just like painted and
Oh,
like
yeah.
crossed out like
It
old.
had like 18 different names before that. You guys come up with a different name all the time.
We had been etching it into the wood. Now we're just painting over it, so you can still see the treehouse hangout,
Nice.
Yeah,
adventurers
say
hangout.
no villains under it.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Okay. Anything else? Melanie, are
Sea
you okay with me
Coco.
posting this, by the way, later on?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, cool. Sorry. What was
See
that?
Coco if you like crying, and the new Spider-Man game is fun.
Nice. Melanie, Alex, anything?
I probably have something to talk about, but I don't remember. It's too late.
Check out Season 2 of Call of Cthulhu coming soon.
Okay. I'm actually good for today. I got a lot of work that I've been doing on Power Outage, and it's gonna just keep on going on. So, and I also got to start working. I'm doing more work on Accessible RPG. So,
Awesome.
everything's on course, as it were. The designer is designing, the artist is arting, and we're good to go. All right, so I guess with that, everybody, take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.